If you haven't already, I'd encourage you to leave a review for the podcast. It helps others find this resource if you're finding it helpful for you. And also, if you have questions, know that you can always send me an email directly to tim@faithfullygrowing.com. This podcast is more than a collection of meditations and insights. It's a space where we heal and grow together. Whether you're exploring your own path or supporting others, you're an integral part of this community. Welcome back to IFS Meditations and Insights. I'm Tim Fortescue, your guide on this journey toward wholeness through the lens of internal family systems. Together, we're creating a sacred space to explore, accept, and love all parts of ourselves. As we do this work, we open ourselves to experiencing divine love and living more authentically. Let's begin. Today, we're exploring fear, not as something to eliminate, but as something to understand. We're going to slow down, tune in, and gently check in with the parts of us that carry fear and anxiety. These parts often hold tender stories, and they deserve our kindness. Fear is something we all live with. Sometimes it hums quietly in the background. Other times it shouts over everything else. It can show up as tightness in the chest, a wave of nausea, a racing heart, or even as irritability or control. And often it masquerades as busyness, perfectionism, or people-pleasing. But what if fear wasn't the enemy? It's not. What if it's actually a part of us doing the best to protect what matters most? And I've found too that anxiety, fear, can also often be a common connector between two parts that are polarized, but they're protecting the same little one underneath. And it could help them when they realize that to see that they're a part of you, they're on the same team. But what if fear wasn't the enemy? What if it's actually a part of us doing its best to protect what matters most? I remember a time a few years ago when I was launching a new group program. I'd poured my heart into it, crafted every detail with intention. And yet the night before the first meeting, I was restless. My chest was tight, my mind was spinning. I kept thinking, what if everyone shows up and I completely freeze? What if people think it's too soft or not helpful enough? What if I fail publicly? It didn't take long before I recognized what was happening. A young part of me had stepped forward, one that remembered being pantsed in 7th grade during football tryouts. And I'm talking American football here, which is not my thing, but I was going to give it a shot. And pantsed means you're out on the field for spring practice and the bullies pull your pants down. Hopefully your underwear stay up. I think mine did, thankfully, but it's humiliating. And that moment had cemented a belief in me that being seen is dangerous. Visibility equals exposure, and exposure leads to shame. That night, instead of trying to silence the fear, I got still, had a conversation with that part, and told it, I see you. That was humiliating, but I'm not 13 anymore, and I've got you. That brief inner exchange shifted everything. The anxiety didn't vanish, but it softened. And I could feel more space around it, more presence, more compassion. So I want to give you an exercise that you can experiment with when you have time. And ask yourself questions like this: what parts of me are most affected by fear right now? What are they afraid of? What are they afraid would happen if they trusted me more? Then ask, how do these fears impact my daily life, my choices, my relationships, the way I speak to myself? You might notice a protector part that works overtime to avoid risk or disappointment. Or maybe a younger part that remembers feeling unsafe, abandoned, or overlooked. Whatever you notice, just welcome it. And if you notice resistance to welcoming it, it's another part jumping in. See if that part could soften back, or let it know you can give it some attention to, but we get to know our parts better one at a time. And then notice that part that's feeling that fear and anxiety and let it know there's nothing to fix. Just a space for noticing and honoring. In internal family systems, or IFS, we recognize that every part has a good intention, even the ones that feel hard to be with, and those parts that resist those parts that are hard to be with. Fearful parts are often protectors, trying to shield us from pain we've known before. And sometimes they carry the voice of a parent, a teacher, or a moment we've never forgotten. And sometimes they speak in the language of our nervous system, urging us to freeze, flee, or fawn. But here's what I've learned. When we turn toward these parts with curiosity and compassion, and even a drop will do. Doesn't take a lot. They begin to soften. They realize they're not alone anymore. They're a part of you, but they're also a part of a bigger team, that they don't have to hold it all by themselves. Fear isn't a flaw. It's a flag, a signal waving gently at us, saying, hey, something needs care. You're doing sacred work. Truly. Every time you pause to listen to your fear instead of shutting it down, you're offering healing. Every time you say, tell me more, instead of go away, you're building inner trust. So this week, keep that in mind. Make space for your fearful parts. Let them know they don't have to carry everything alone anymore. You're not alone in your fear. And your fear isn't something to be ashamed of. It's a doorway. And if you walk through it gently with compassion, you might just discover a whole new kind of courage waiting for you on the other side. So until our next session, may you walk gently with your fear and trust that love is always nearby. Let me leave you with this affirmation. I am not my fear. I am the compassionate presence that can witness it. I am safe to listen. I am safe to feel. And I'm learning day by day to love all of me, especially the parts that are afraid. And that wraps up another episode of IFS Meditations and Insights. If you found value in today's session, please follow, subscribe, and share with others who might benefit. Your positive review helps people discover this healing work. For more IFS meditations and resources, visit exploreifs.com. But so grateful to be with you on this journey, and until we meet again, be kind to yourself, stay curious, and welcome all parts on your journey, even those that may be a little resistant to.